Get ready for 2 hours of hard-hitting football talk, straight from their jocks about the jocks. It's Football on the Know with Jim and Joe.
Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Football on the No Show. Hey, man, I know it's been a while, but we have taken a little bit of a break, but we are back. We're ready to go, and we got some stuff to talk about, man, Joe. A lot of stuff going on here, and when everybody's making lists and stuff, we are going to do a little bit of our own, but just a little bit different from everybody else. That's what we like to do. So I know you guys probably missed us. We missed you as well. So we're excited to be back and talk some ball with you guys. Joe, it's been a while since I've seen you too. I mean, I just said see you like 2 weeks ago. We went to Babs Bash, which was a great time, by the way. Anybody knows
a lot of fun.
who Michael Babchick is, and DA from the DA show as well too. Got to hang out with all those guys from Sirius XM Radio, so it was a very good time hanging out with them again. Second year in a row for me, so it was glad. I was glad to have you there with me this time, and it was a bunch of fun. But yeah, we're going to get into it in just a bit. Again, we just want to say thank you so much to everybody out there for all the support we've had from you guys for many years, and we're back to talk. So, Joe,
Jimmy,
what's up?
We got one of our know-it-alls chiming in already. Rise up, Dirty Birds is back, baby.
Oh,
he said,
damn.
"Are my boys back? Let's go."
Yeah, we're back, man. Yeah, sorry.
Been a while, man. Been a while. Listen, you know, we've been working out, been working our lips, you know, get them warmed up for this occasion, get everything stretched out, get everything ready, because training camp is right around the corner. We are back. We fired up the microphones. We're ready to go, ready to talk football with you guys. And yeah, we're just going to get started tonight. We're going to go over through a couple different topics that we want to kind of touch on. Some fun topics too. Like what the first one that we're going to do is me and Jimmy both separately, we're going to give you our opinion on who we think the best quarterback is for each division for this upcoming season. Who we think is the top dog in each division. And then towards the latter part of the show, we're going to kind of touch on a little bit about the Super Bowl, the two teams that were incorporated, the Seattle Seahawks, the New England Patriots. And do we think that it's possible for either one of them or neither of them likely to make it back to that big game? So, yes, sir.
And
yes, sir. Rise up. We are back. We're ready.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's get right into it, Joe. Each division. Let's start with the AFC first, right? AFC East. AFC East. We know the quarterbacks have been there. Josh Allen, and but we have some new faces. And we've got Geno Smith back with the Jets. So making a return. And again, it's kind of funny with the Jets because he wasn't performing well with them before. He goes somewhere else in Seattle looking good. And then now the Jets say, hey, this is a good time to kind of bring him back, when I think he's already on the downhill turn again from his peak. He's already peaked. So I don't think it's going to be much of an improvement for them. Malik Willis is in the division now too, as well, for the Miami Dolphins too. So there's a change of pace for the Dolphins at the quarterback position there too. And so basically the only two quarterbacks too that were left over that have been there, Drake May, who went to the Super Bowl last year with the Patriots, and of course Josh Allen, who's continually making it to the playoffs and even championship matchups in the AFC, and just not getting it past that hump.
Right. And, you know, and for me, like for the East, a lot of excitement. I know Bills fans are excited to kind of get back down to the ground. They have improved their team offensively and defensively, hoping that they got the answer. Miami, they are definitely in a full-blown rebuild. You've already seen it. Malik Willis going to finally get that chance that he's been striving for. Listen, Patriots made it to the Super Bowl. Can they do it again? And obviously, Geno Smith going to the Jets. Again, it's the Jets, so we kind of expect from them. I don't know for this, but it should be interesting to say the least. But for my quarterback, Jim, I'm going to go with Drake May with the New England Patriots. I think he is the best quarterback in this division. I know Josh Allen is really good too, but in a small has shown me that he is able to be the leader. He can carry this team, win legs with his arm, with his decision making. Very smart quarterback. And for a guy to accomplish what he did, much like when Patrick Holmes came into the league and all of a sudden he made the Super Bowl, he won it though, right on the cusp. He really is. And this team has gotten better through this offseason, much better, to the point where like I think on the map, higher expectations than ever before. And I think he's going to execute and do extremely well. So for me in the AFC, I got Drake May.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, I mean, I can't blame you for that one. I mean, the Patriots did go to the Super Bowl last year. He looked pretty good throughout the season where it was debatable whether it was going to be him or Matt Stafford for a while for the MVP. And at such a young age to be up there competing like that and be up for that when, Josh Allen had just got one back in 2024. But I can't go in that early. I know I like Drake May, and yes, they did make it to the Super Bowl. It's gonna be, I think, his third season now into the league, and he is gonna get better. He's bulked up this year now too, so see how that goes for him. He's got some other weapons around him too. So this team is constantly building. But I still got to give it to the guy that's been there, Josh Allen, and what he's done for the Bills and continuing on. I know there will be question marks this season just because of the coaching change. Yes, they stayed within the system with Joe Brady, but I still, there's going to be questions there for Buffalo Bills. But right now at this moment, I can't dethrone Josh Allen with being the best quarterback in that division right now, just because, again, Drake May still growing. I have confidence in him. And then the other two, Malik Willis, just again, he has had one good season showing that he can play a little bit as a backup and step into the role when he needed to be. So now getting full reins again of a team. He hasn't been that since back with Tennessee. So it would be something different for him to see what it is. And like I said, Geno Smith, on the downhill turn, he's already peaked for what I feel. So yeah.
Trash.
Yeah.
Absolute trash.
So it'd be like Mary cuddle trash and what, yeah. So okay, so you've got Drake May. I have Josh Allen for the East. All right, let's go to the North now, Joe.
Yes.
Joe, the AFC North.
Okay.
We love the comments out there too. We were throwing them out there for you guys too. We appreciate you out there. Just a couple touch on here too. Dirty Birds right there. I knew that was gonna be Michael Penix Jr. And I swear we're gonna get to that in a little bit too. And so that's gonna be exciting. And I want to give a shout out to, was that KD out there? Jackson Dart. He says for the NFC East, that's pushing it too. I mean, that's a little nuts,
right.
A little early, a little premature.
That's aggressive.
But
I like it though.
It's your opinion.
I like
though.
the
Opinions are out there. We like it.
It's fine.
We like it. Yeah,
Put it out there.
Yeah, you gotta give it to him for what he had for games played. No. It's gonna be the AFC North.
So for the NFC East, Jim.
Right.
We're going to go all the way
through. First. Yeah, AFC only first. Yeah.
All right. So for the North, it's not going to be Lamar Jackson for me. Just say Ravens fans is not my guy. If I'm going to start a quarterback in this division, it is very simply Shador Sanders. No, just kidding. No, it's going to be Joe Burrow. Let's be honest. Joe Burrow is easily the best freaking quarterback in this division. And even if Rodgers is there in his prime, I still love Joe Burrow right now. I think he's killing it. You look at 2 seasons ago, he was leading in multiple categories as a quarterback, notch in yards, touchdown. Dude was a fury on everybody. So I look for Joe Burrow to return this Bengals team. We know that the heel of them has been defense last year. They have hoping that they can kind of turn that ship around, get back on track defensively. But with their offense, it is killer. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Those 2 elite weapons that he has at his disposal, along with Chase Brown. I mean, I'm sorry. This offense is ready to put up points and put them up quick. Give me Joe Burrow with the Cincinnati Bengals the number one quarterback in this division.
All right, man, this is saucy. I like Joe Burrow, I really do, and I think he is one of the top quarterbacks too. But you got to be on the field to be the top quarterback too. And I understand offensive line too. He's getting banged up, but 8 games last year. I mean, can't finish a full season. That's why
Yep.
he's always the best,
He
player,
did he did
comeback
2
player
years
of the
ago.
year.
Did 2
Yeah,
years
and it's
ago.
there. And trust me, when we were at Babs Bash, I had a conversation with a Baltimore Ravens fan, obviously though, right? And he was like, "Oh, Joe Burrow's biggest overrated quarterback out there. Yeah,
No.
you have all those weapons out there. I mean, that's the reason why it's so good." I was like, "Yo, you need to pump the brakes, bro. I mean, because he is
He
good. He
almost
is
threw
good
for
out there, and the
5,000
offense
yards
were
2
they're
years ago.
lighting people up. I mean, they could score at will. It's just they had no defense. We get that. You know what I'm saying?"
Right.
And he was like, "Well, you put Lamar on that team with those weapons and he'll be so much better," and things like that. And I'm
No.
like, well, I can see that too. I can understand
No, I
with all those
can't.
weapons you got, you have a lot of different things going on. But just Joe Burrow, if he stays healthy, I can see that. I'll be on board with that because I think he has all the tangibles of being the better quarterback. But right now with Lamar Jackson, what he's capable of doing in the passing game, efficiency, running the ball
Mm,
all around, it's just he's made it almost to the Super Bowl so many times, and he was banged up last year, so his stats would have even been better this past year too as well. So multiple 4,000-yard seasons, and and also more on the ground, 2 MVPs out there. You can't deny that right now, at least Lamar
Gimme.
Jackson is the best quarterback in that division. And I'm sorry, it's debatable because, like I said, if you give Joe Burrow a full season, then we're talking a different story. Which maybe we'll see
Oh,
that
yeah,
this season.
and that's what we're talking. We're
No, I
talking
get
about the
that.
best quarterback. We're not
I
talking
get that.
about and here's the thing
No,
with
I
Lamar
know.
Jackson.
I
It's real
know.
simple. He's been banged up over the number of years. What has happened to Lamar Jackson? He's failed to deliver when he's needed the most. He tries to be a pocket quarterback, which he'll never be. He's not a true quarterback. He's a decent quarterback just to kind of sit there, dance around, make some plays with his legs, and then deliver the football. Like he can make some unscripted plays, no doubt about it. I'm special. But when it comes to quarterback play, give me a quarterback, not a guy that has to rely on his legs to outperform everybody. When he's held captive in the pocket, that's when things fall apart for him. Playoff game after playoff game. And it's at this point, he's getting older to the point where now he's sustaining more injury. Burrow getting beat up. Lamar is not far behind and missing time. Now it seems to be happening to him way more often at this point in his career. That's is got to be a concern for Ravens fans going forward. Is he going to ever be the guy back in his prime, back when he was so dangerous with his legs and not getting injured? That's kind of now Father Time is taking over to the point where I kind of lean more towards the real quarterback who is going to get me those points and rack up and get me some wins offensively. But with Lamar, yes, he's an uncanny talent. There's no doubt about it. But the guy is definitely not the best quarterback.
It's debatable. And then I think Mike Tackett again is in the
And that's
house
why
with
we're
us tonight.
debating it.
There's a guy. He can't believe it. I think too said Joey B over Lamar. Like, what's going on? And he says here too,
100%.
it was basically what I have said too. Said your best ability is availability. I want Joey B to play a full season. I
Okay.
need to get a full season from him and make proper evaluation. And that's the thing though,
2
because
years ago,
I believe you and I agree with you. I think on my
full years.
list,
And he
Joe,
was
last
just
year
young.
on our list. Yeah, on our list last year, even too, I had him at 1B, 1A, 1B, as the best quarterback when I ranked my quarterbacks. So I believe in him. It's just that, he can't stay healthy. So, I mean, when you look at this all together and the accomplishments that Lamar Jackson has had, we could potentially say that, hey, maybe if Joe Burrow stayed healthy all those seasons, like he would have been trumping all that, and he could be a 3-time MVP at this point. But he's not at this point. So I'm going with Lamar, and you're going with Joe
It's
Burrow,
okay.
which is good.
But I'm not
It's
ta-
cool. We're against the grain
talking
here. I like
about
it. It's all opinions, bro.
I'm just not talking
It's all good.
about what happened in the past. I'm talking about who the best quarterback is right now.
No,
That's what I'm talking about.
okay. Okay.
We got this.
All right. So there we go. So I got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. You have Drake May and Joe Burrow. Next up, we've got the AFC South. What do you got in here for the South, Joe? I
Terrible
got to hear
division.
this.
This is a
It is. This
horrendous
was a tough
division,
one.
first of all. And yeah,
Mhm.
it is very tough because when you look at these teams, you look at CJ Stroud, you look at Daniel Jones is now coming back from a major injury. How is his body and himself mentally going to respond into this season? Is he going to have the same kind of success that he did now minus Michael Pittman Jr. as well? So some moving parts with that team back. I still don't know the deal with Tank Dell. Is this going to be able to come back and play at all? His injury career ending? Do we still don't know what that answer is? And then who had his best season last year in his career, surprised the hell out of me. Don't think he's going to be able to deliver when it matters most down the stretch. And we saw that last year. And then you got Cam Ward. Cam Ward only going into second year. Obviously, he's still young. He's still new, developing. But he's got some receiving weapons to do. Look at Carnell Tate, the rookie out of Ohio State, is going to join Calvin Ridley there. Maybe he can stay healthy. He can't even stay on the football field at all. So
Mm.
I don't know what that's going to mean for Cam Ward and the offensive line. It's again, they are still putting the piece together, hoping they can rebuild that franchise. And that's what makes this division so. Because here's the thing: you could go Trevor Lawrence, and he did have a successful season. But then you look back at Daniel Jones and what he was able to accomplish before he got injured. He was lighting the league up. I'm shocked. I could
Mhm.
not believe him with the Colts and was number one in the lead. Like the guy was
Yeah.
really going for the MVP, even comeback player of the year. Hell, give him both
Mhm.
awards because that's how good he was playing. So Daniel Jones is kind of in my head here. And then CJ's been like a roller coaster. He's been good in moments. He's been really bad moments. Drew at Nico Collins kind of derailed everything that they had been working up to. So for me, division, and this is tough because if we're looking at what we got to look forward to for this season, all these teams are now going to be pretty much 100%. I gotta go with Daniel Jones in this division now. I I know there's going to be a lot of Trevor Lawrence fans out there that are going to be like, "No way, this is bullshit." But here's the thing: if Daniel Jones
Uh,
comes back healthy
yeah.
from this injury, and he can even moderately close to what he did before the injury, he's going to yet again take the league by storm as a quarterback. And I'm sorry, but before the injury, he was definitely considered last season one of the best quarterbacks. He was on track to decimate a lot of statistical data that I love it. I love the comeback story. I love the fact that how well he played before the injury. Daniel Jones again. Let me see what he can do now. So I like it. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say Daniel Jones is the best quarterback in this division.
Oh, Joe, man, you're throwing a lot of what ifs out there. And I think when you're trying to pick best quarterback within these divisions, you can't be like, well, what if? What if this? What if that? I mean, yeah, sure. What if, this
It's
never
not what
happened?
if.
What if that?
It's not
That
what if.
okay, sure. Well, you said, well,
Let's
what
go.
if he stays healthy this year? Then he could be the best quarterback in this division. Like KD says there. Yeah, we've seen Daniel Jones before. Take away, the running back here, and we'll see what happens. Um, but
You can take
I
any running
looked
back
at
away
it.
from
I
any
saw it. I
quarterback
saw
and
his
see what
stats.
happens. Like, come on.
He was throwing 68%. I think it was too. His stats were up there. His completion percentage to touchdown ratio was outstanding. And you can give him that credit. Yes, potentially if he did finish out the season, he would be there. With this division as well, with how close it is. Like you brought up CJ Stroud, his struggles, especially in the playoffs and towards the end. They've had a strong running game too to try and get them through things. Trevor Lawrence been up and down, but seems like now that Liam Cohen is there, they're kind of getting on track with him, and we haven't seen this Trevor Lawrence since that one time they made a playoff run with Doug Peterson. So Trevor Lawrence looks like he's getting some of those things polished up. They are getting more weapons for him on top of it as well. So the Jaguars look pretty promising right now moving forward in this division. And Cam Ward, like you said, it's early. We can't really judge him even by now. He's still feeling it out. It's going to be a second season moving forward.
Yeah, he's still rebuilding.
I think I wanted to lean towards Trevor Lawrence, which again I'm seeing that in the comments too as well, just because the not really accolades what he kind of looked like last year, and I believe in the quarterback or the coach and what they're doing. But again, I think CJ Stroud is a part of this, and I would like to see more still out of him. And I think he's capable. I think last year was I don't know, just something's off with him here. And I think it's something that can easily be fixed. It's not like all of a sudden he got terrible overnight. So I think he still has it. And if you put this hodgepodge of players together, I think he's still the best in this division, at least at this point. I liked Daniel Jones before we was with the Giants. I've seen it. It's up and down. And he might have a year like this past season and then not this season. But we shall see. I still not bought in yet.
But here's the thing. Like, are we talking about who the best quarterback back is right now, or are we talking about based off of what their career was?
No, we're talking about even right now, Joe. I mean, because you can sell because there's proof in even what might have happened in the past. What's telling you right now that Daniel Jones is so much better than these guys right now?
How he performed. You look at before that injury, how he performed. He was killing it. He really was killing it. They had the number one offense in the league while he was healthy. They were absolutely decimating teams. It wasn't even close. So here's my thing with CJ Stroud. There's a lot of variables that he's had to work through. Offensive line, lack thereof. No offensive line, basically. They traded their tackles away. They're playing musical chairs with the offensive line. So it's lack of protection. And then you got Nico Collins dropping. You got Tank Dell, who's not even there again for this whole past season. So he hasn't had his guys out there in terms of weapons for the whole entire season. And then the lack of that offensive line kind of fell apart. And then you look at Joe Mixon. What the how do you not you just don't have anybody around you, and everybody expected you to be the savior somehow. So it's not going to happen. He didn't have the formula last year because of everything crumbling around him. So yes, he could end up being the best quarterback in this division. I agree with you, Jimmy. I wanted to say CJ Stroud, but it's hard for me to ignore just how impactful Daniel Jones was, which was a complete shock to me with that Indianapolis Colts team. And it's hard not to think that when he comes back and he's healthy this year, that he's going to just kind of leave where he left off. So that's kind of where my mindset was. Yeah, Stroud too. I get for some people for Trevor Lawrence out there as well. But again, I like what he was able to do when he came to the Colts. That offense seemed to fit him better. I don't know what happened with him with the Giants, but it seems like they kind of untapped his talent a little bit in Indy.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, I mean, again, right now, this list has more fire than I thought I would ever have, even right now. So this is great. So here we go. We're tackling the last division of the AFC. We thank you everybody for the comments out there. Sorry, Christian. Again, I am blind right now too, so it's hard to see the names. I just saw KD. Can't even see your picture even right now. So I'm sorry that I didn't recognize you, old friend. So thank you so much for joining us again. It's been a while. I'm sorry. I didn't forget you though. You know,
listen,
I forget names. I don't forget.
Right.
Faces, I guess, right?
First time back. It's first time back in a while. So we're working out the kinks.
Rise up. You're still the same, brother. Michael Penix had the best pass to interception percentage with only 1.1, which is good for lowest in the league. How about that? All right. So AFC, we're finishing off with the West, Joe. Who do you got in this division?
I hate everybody.
I know you hate everybody.
But anyway,
including your own quarterback, right? Fernando Mendoza.
No, I don't hate. I don't hate
automatically. No, Kirk Cousins. That's no. I'm trying to figure your best quarterback.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Is like this is like kind of like choose your own adventure. You can't go wrong with any selection. Obviously, the Raiders aren't going to be involved in this because Mendoza we haven't seen him play. And Kirk Cousins, even though we've seen him play other offenses on other teams, this is a new off. So you just take the Raiders right at it because there's no way you can say any of those guys are or either one of those guys are going to be the best. Um, Honestly, when it comes to playmaking, when it comes to um, you know, on in rhythm executing plays, I really like. I gotta say I hate to say this. I can't stand it. Um, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes to me is a guy
Oh,
that has lifted his own team up when nobody's playing well. Let's just be honest. His receivers is they're dog shit. They're terrible. Like the only thing is Racy Rice. We want to talk about how availability and all that. Well, this guy just likes to go to jail all the time. So he's hardly on the field. He's suspended once in a while. And now he's got a chance to come back and make a huge impact this year. But when I look at the team, I just see the same exact team that we have been watching the last couple of seasons. So Mahomes has to kind of uplift everybody because no one's really making big time plays but him. So Justin Herbert, he's another great quarterback. I know he gets criticized sometimes, but I gotta say, has been so efficient, has been so good for the charge, brilliant. And that's you look at Omarion Hampton when he went down with that injury. Did they still continue to lean on the run game? No, they leaned on her. They leaned on him to throw the ball even more, and he executed extremely well. So Herbert could be my choice too, but I went with Patrick Mahomes because the guy's been doing it for a while. All right. Like, and there's consistency there. That is at his disposal. He's been able to make things happen. They've gotten wins. Last year was a little bit of a freaking nosedive. Like, let's face it, nothing was working right in Kansas City then. And then Bo Nix, very solid quarterback. I don't, he's not an elite quarterback, but he's a guy who is kind of like a feel good story. Like he's just solid. Grew up too much. He's not going to immaculate plays by himself, but he's going to get the job done, so to speak. So for me, I leaned with Patrick Mahomes on this one, a guy who I've seen time and time again, unfortunately against my Raiders, just kind of make something out of nothing. So I'm going to go with Mahomes.
all right, Joe. It seems like your camera for some reason on my end is locked up. So I don't know if you want to jump out and jump back in, maybe try and reset your camera if you can. Um, yeah, I still hear you in your beautiful pipes that you have there and your opinions. I love it. But yeah, see if you can jump
That's
out
all you
and
need.
fix your camera somehow or something. Yeah, I know it's good. It's just like it's miming you through. But yeah, I'm gonna agree with you as well. I mean, it's pretty simple here. Patrick Mahomes, he still is what he's shown on the field, what he can be and what he's done even. And like I said, let's not talk about accolades. He still has extreme arm talent, movement with his legs. We'll see after this injury now and how mobile he
Right.
will be here. But
Right.
until
Yeah. True.
you beat the
Mhm.
man, you're the man. So I totally like did like a George W. Bush on that one. I totally botched that whole freaking thing. That is not the saying. But
But I
as
like
far as
just make it up. Go with it.
Justin Herbert and Bo Nix, they're getting better. And they're playing at a high level, but you got to be able to beat Patrick Mahomes and what he's been able to do with the Kansas City Chiefs. They're still kind of the cream of the crop in this division, even though of what the Denver Broncos were able to accomplish last year. But Bo Nix is still learning. I feel like, again, I'll still be a hater until something different happens to try and change my mind. But I feel like the Denver Broncos, if they still had him last year in that playoff game, and then we're talking them in the Super Bowl, and then that Super Bowl is a whole lot more interesting. I feel like though too,
Oh
as
yeah.
Drake May's
Oh
going
yeah.
into that game with the shoulder issue and stuff too. But
Mhm.
Denver's a really good team. Bo Nix is getting better. But Justin Herbert has always been good, but just needs that bump a little bit here. We're always saying, hey, he needs another, wide receiver here or so to try and get him over the
Mhm.
hump. He's got Harbaugh there and everything, so he's getting better. But Patrick Mahomes has still got to be the guy. He's been the guy there forever right now. And if you look at this division, he's a proven commodity here. So Patrick Mahomes all day long. All right. So, and a bunch
Yes,
of other
sir.
people comment. We appreciate you out there, Christian, as well, saying Justin Herbert shorten the gap, but still Patrick Mahomes and rise up. I think agrees as well. All right. So let's move on to the NFC East to again the division that my team is in, and Christian's as well, the New York Giants, and then the rest of the NFC who also has Michael Penix Jr., one of Rise Up's favorite guys. All right. So NFC East, Joe, what do you got in this one? This one was a tough division for me. I even went down through stats and everything else
Yeah.
with guys, and I really kind of went through a thorough investigation on this one because I couldn't tell really the
You
difference. I want to make sure I had the information to kind of sway me a certain way.
so you played detective is what you're saying. Really kind of
I
hammered
had
down
to. I
on
can't
this
have my
division.
bias going though either, so.
Well, we all have a little bias in ourselves. And I know we do. I feel like we do a fairly good job of leaving our bias at the door before we start our show. But for this division, yes, it's tough because there's a lot of good quarterbacks. There's some potential guys. And Dart, obviously, he's a little bit flashy, but there's for me going forward into the season is obviously his mobility. How much trouble is he going to get himself into? Because he's not going to stop running the ball. When times are tough and he needs to use his legs, he's going to use them. But is he going to make the smart decision and slide? Is he going to get out of bounds like before he takes a punishment? That's going to be something to monitor this year. Otherwise, his career will. He's a really good quarterback. Philadelphia Eagles with Jalen Hurts. No AJ Brown there anymore. They traded him out, shipped him out. That relationship was a little strained to say the least, and now they move on from him. They're hoping that with new draft pick Makai Lemon, things are still going to run accordingly with Jalen Hurts. Jaden Daniels, I love this dude so much. I'm a huge fan of Jaden Daniels. I really want him to do well at a LSU. Last year, missed the season. Obviously, he's coming back. Another quarterback coming back healthy this year. Looked really good 2 years ago in his rookie year,
Mhm.
but again, it's gonna be how does he respond after the injury? Can he get back to where he was before and even better? And Prescott. Uh, this is my guy, Dak Prescott, all day long in this division because this dude has in his game. This guy has executed at an extremely high level. Look at what he has at his disposal, for God's sakes. When you got CeeDee Lamb on one side and then you got George Pickens on the other side. And then, oh yeah, by the way, they sprinkle in little tight ends that they have, a couple, 2 or 3 tight ends that they can put in 12-man
Mhm.
personnel and whatnot. He can literally sling the rock wherever he wants to. They got a decent running game. Their offensive line is really good. So they got the total package in terms of offense. And Dak Prescott does execute at a high level, does play well. Yes, he takes a lot of razzing for sure. And people pick on him for the one season where he led interceptions and all that. But again, I think when it comes down to best quarterback right now going into the season, I'm pushing the chips to the middle of the table for Dak Prescott. I think he does an extremely good job. And as much as I want to vomit right now because I don't like the
Mhm.
Cowboys at all, uh, um, it's clear as day to me. At this point in this juncture, Jalen Hurts. I know Eagles fans out there are going to be irate with me yet again because they hate my honest Jalen Hurts, I'm sorry, he is not my number 1 because of a few factors. I saw him in the last couple of seasons where he's kind of struggled here and there when he takes his eyes off from down the football field to run instead of trying to make a play with his legs just to create time and then throw it. That's where I have a problem. Like he struggles with reading defenses. The offense kind of spitting and sputtering for Philly. That's why Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. Daniels, I wanted so because I think he definitely has the talent to become the best division. But again, he's just not. He needs to take a couple more major steps forward. But I got Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I hear you there. Yeah, Jaden Daniels last year with the injuries and stuff kind of cut it all short. You wanted to see him have a better year than or another year to repeat of what he did the year prior, bringing the Commanders something closer to what anybody really expected. So I think he could be better. It just like you said, you just need more to kind of show that yes, and continuous success and stay healthy. So I scratched him as well. Jackson Dart, again, the injuries on top of it, not getting put in until not later in the season, but after a few games. The time that he was in there, though, numbers impressive, especially even in the red zone. He has more red
Yeah,
zone rushing
100%.
touchdowns, I want to say, than anybody in the league. I think it was like 9. And so you hope they can have continued success with that and hanging on to the ball too and not taking those hits. So I think projection down the line, he's going to be a really good quarterback and compete for this type of thing as well. So when it came down to Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, I went with Dak Prescott as well, just because, again, he's been able to lead that Cowboys team to some impressive seasons. And he's good. He's not a mobile quarterback like what you've seen with all the
Right.
3 other quarterbacks are in this division. But as far as a quarterback
Mobile
that's
enough.
pocket passer and what he's able to do, I mean, his stats are always there. He's always top in passer rating. Last year, he was ranked 3rd across the entire NFL in passer rating and passing yards. And then also when I talk about the red zone, he was in the top 5 for the red zone too as well, and touchdown to interception ratio, and I think it was 19 to 1 for that. So the stats are there. Yes, he's got crazy weapons like we talked about earlier too in the passing game. We would say Joe Burrow and stuff. But Jalen Hurts, same kind of thing that you're talking about here with me as well. I wanted to kind of believe in that guy, and he has done well. I think he's cool,
Yeah.
calm, and collect, and can
Yeah.
be a leader in his
Right.
own way. But still, I think he has his own limitations. And if you talk about red zone efficiency, again, it's getting there continuously off of the tush push and that one play. If that play's not there, that offense isn't going as far as it
No,
is going right now.
they're
Those are
punting.
basically stops. So you're
They're punting,
basically
Jim.
getting
They're
further
punting.
past that. You're punting. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Dak Prescott as
Christian.
well. We appreciate the
Christian had
comments on
something
there.
to
What we
say.
got?
Christian has something to say about the Jackson Dart thing.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Watch how Dart works with actual coaching and a line. His weapons back. Let's not forget, Neighbors got hurt his first start with
Mm-hmm.
him, and Scat got hurt 2 to 3 games later. He was playing with CDFFL players around him. You're right. He
Yeah.
was playing at a high level for a rookie. Now,
Mm-hmm.
here's the other thing you got to remember, Christian. Rookies, there's no film on them. Now that teams in this division are starting, they got a little bit of film work on Dart, see a little bit of his tendencies, see where he's looking on the football field. Is he looking majority left field, right field, down the middle? There is going to be some tendencies that now defenses are going to kind of pick apart and try to put it against him this season. So rookie year, you just don't know what to expect from a rookie, how well he's going to play or not. So it's a clean slate. Now we're going to see some of these defenses kind of come down a little harder on Dart. I feel like they're going to try to prevent him from escaping the pocket, trying to collapse the pocket around him, and don't leave any paths for him to get away and create that pressure. So we'll see how he reacts to that. We'll see how he reacts to the different defensive schemes that are going to be put up against him. But again, he does have a promising future. Again, he was my favorite quarterback coming out in that draft. I loved him so much. I wanted the Raiders so badly to trade back into the first round to get him. They didn't. The Giants did. And now you guys got your starter for the next 10 years. So again, but he has to stay healthy. He's got to be smarter this year. Hopefully he will be for the Giants' sake. And I'm rooting for him. I really am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a tough division. Like I said, I had to break it down with a couple of the guys to kind of look at it, and that was my deciding factor, I guess, in that one. So, all right. Next we
Yes,
got the
sir.
NFC North, Joe. This was a tough one again for me with a couple of guys that are up in there and the talent that they have, especially Caleb Williams again getting better under Ben Johnson last
Ben
year.
Johnson, yeah.
Really eliminated a lot of the turnovers that he had his previous year. Jordan Love continuously, getting to the playoffs and being efficient with the football too as well. And Jared Goff's there on top of it too. So this is a really tough division to pick.
Yeah, listen, let's just go with the Minnesota midget. Let's go with Kyler Murray on this one, right? Best quarterback ever. He's going to be
Uh,
amazing. If you ask the
uh,
Vikings fans, they are super psyched to have Kyler Murray. Although I don't think they've watched enough Cardinal games. That's the difference there. In Minnesota, they're just paying attention to the Vikings. So again, Murray is going to add a nice spark for Minnesota's offense. Obviously, he's going to have some pretty good weapons to throw to Justin Jefferson if they don't trade him. Uh,
hmm.
you know what I mean? Jordan Addison, nice player. Uh, but he can't see over the offensive line, so goes over the middle, to say the least.
Mhm.
No, he's not my number one quarterback in this division. You have Jordan Love that Jim mentioned, a guy who's been pretty solid. Sometimes he supersedes expectations and just has one hell of a baller of a game. But then the next 3 weeks, we don't know where Love went. He just falls off the face of the earth. So inconsistent for me with Jordan Love. Caleb Williams, he's probably been the one of the biggest is just how well he's been able to under the wing of Ben Johnson. And in 2 years' time, Ben Johnson has literally transformed into one of the more type of quarterbacks, a guy that plays with his legs, but also has one hell of an arm that he can hit. Uh, Exciting to watch for sure. But I'm going to go with the guy who's been 2 years in Jared Goff, a guy who has overcome even losing both his coordinators. This guy has still running at a high level. Last year, he's stats to the point where like I was surprised when I saw that and how well Goff was playing. So uh high level,
Mm.
Jared Goff to me right now is the best quarterback in this division.
Yeah, it was a toss up between him and Jordan Love for me, and it was tough. And again, it was like splitting hairs because
I
they're
get it.
uh they're different. Jared Goff is again a lot shorter passes, but that's the scheme that they kind of roll with. What they have though too, they both quarterbacks have some good wide receivers and some weapons to throw to. Um, Jared Goff, though, again, has better completion percentage and accuracy. But this could be because again the shorter passes, but he also led the league in I think it was total scoring too as well. Jordan Love getting the team to the playoffs, and deep ball accuracy and able to get the bigger plays. That's where he gets a lot of his chunk yards and things. And just coming up short though in the playoffs. Both quarterbacks both having that issue in the playoffs, kind of getting far and then just not getting it done. Um, both of those
Mhm.
games that for both of these teams, not exactly their fault either. Defense was not
Right.
really helping them out either as well on top of it.
Gotcha.
So it was splitting hairs. So for me, it's almost like 1A, 1B with these two, but I went with Jared Goff as well. It was a
Christian, I
tough one. Yeah, I know.
apologize.
Yeah, Christian.
You know, I got you with the Minnesota midget on that one, huh? Yeah, it
Yeah,
happens. It happens. Spit his
yep,
drink all over.
all over my shirt.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't your favorite shirt. So, uh, it has been more consistent, I think. Yes, absolutely for a couple of years now. And what's funny is
Right.
with these two quarterbacks, they face like backlash a lot too, just because Jared Goff always saying, "Oh, people are saying, oh, it was McVay before with the Rams. Now it's now Ben Johnson did everything for you. Now see how you are." And then now on the other side,
Right.
it's Jordan Love sat for a while behind, Aaron Rodgers, finally gets a start, but looks pretty good there. So now the pressure is, oh, is he going to be the next, Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers? And here he is, and he's not living up to that hype. So these two quarterbacks are very polarizing in their own ways, and they're drastically different at the same time.
Right.
So,
Right.
all right. So next here
That
it is
brings us to the NFC
in the
South,
NFC
Jimmy.
South. This is the division. So that
This is the
rise up. So
one.
he can't wait. He can't wait for this one. So you're gonna say Bryce
Wait a
Young.
second. Wait a second. I think Rise Up is gonna go with Michael Penix somehow.
He did
Somehow he's gonna
already.
pick him.
Yeah,
I think.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah, yep.
Multiple times. If you've
Mhm.
been paying attention in the chat, he's been kind of reminding us about Michael Penix, Michael Penix stats. Michael Penix is the guy. Um, I get it. You're a Falcons fan. You love your boy. And listen, he still has the potential to be an elite quarterback. I really do believe in that. I think he's going to be something special, but the real major concern is obviously injuries, and this stems all the way back in college, where he's torn his ACLs so many times, it's basically rubber bands back there, like waiting to snap. So, um, I I'm a little concerned for Penn's future, and I think that if he could stay healthy, that he literally could end up being the best quarterback here, but he's not going to be today because of those injuries and because he keeps having to fight back year through all these injuries. I don't know what that's mean for him this upcoming season. Is he going to be able to last? You know, there's a reason why Atlanta went out and they got Tua in free agency because they need insurance, and that's what they got there. So, unfortunately, sorry, Rise Up. I know you're going to hate me about this, but Penix is not my number one quarterback in this division. It's not Bryce Young either. I don't want to make you irate and lose and flip your table. Bryce Young is another guy who's kind of still developing. We're still waiting to see. I think this is the year for him where he has to prove something. He has to show the Carolina brass that he's going to be the guy for the future years. And I think this is going to be his decision year to whether the Carolina Panthers feel comfortable staying with them or maybe it's time to move on and find a new answer. Then you get down to Tyler Shook. Tyler Shook had a really good rookie year, got banged and missed some time, but was healthy. He played at a high level, for a rookie. In other words, so
Mhm,
played
mhm,
well. Still has to get better. There's definitely some things that he's got to develop and work on, just like a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL. But he he's kind of getting there, and they're trying to surround him with talent as well. So he's not my guy. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's Baker Mayfield in the Tampa Bay
mhm,
Buccaneers year, and that kind of flamed out, and Baker Mayfield wasn't playing his best all the time, but look at what decimated by injuries. The offensive line was like a skeleton crew, based the street trying to suit him up to help try to protect Baker Mayfield, and
mhm,
and Bucky Irving, him also getting injured, and Evans going
mhm,
down. You had Chris Godwin, who actually
mhm.
stayed healthy for once, but their receiver and McMillan, he
Look,
missed significant time. So they're
mhm,
looking for Mbeka Buka to kind of step up. You're seeing in practice and OTAs, you're seeing how the chemistry is flourishing between Baker Mayfield and him. McMillan coming back into the fold. Evans is out the door. We already know that, but guess what? They got a
mhm,
nice young crop, minus Chris Godwin, of course. But
mhm,
all the
mhm,
offensive line is healthy yet again. I think Baker Mayfield, you look at 2 years ago and just how he was able to attack defenses, basically sling the ball all over the football field, scoring points like crazy, but also having come from behind wins was literally just coming from behind and resurrecting the offense somehow in Tampa just to get a
mhm.
win. So I'm looking for Baker Mayfield to return to that form this year, going up to it. That's why Baker Mayfield is my number one quarterback in this division right now, and he's going to prove it yet again this year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, Bryce Young, but like you said, everything before. I mean, he started to show he could do some things this year. The Carolina Panthers was a good story. I think they played really well. And
They play tough.
Michael Penix
They
Jr.,
play
yeah,
tough.
he's starting to change my mind a bit, and he's playing well. But when you come and look at this division and who, has been a standout player throughout this whole time for the last even 3 seasons, I looked it up between the last 3 seasons, and it's Lamar Jackson. I just did Lamar, I did Josh Allen, and I did Baker Mayfield, and they have pretty close to the same stats. Take away some of the rushing yards, obviously, with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, because I first compared those two, and those guys are remarkably
Right.
close to each other. But I threw Baker Mayfield in the mix just to see kind of where he felt and where he landed with a lot of it. But in the passing game, he could have been up for that MVP talk in the last couple seasons. So he has been
Mhm.
stellar, and like you said as well, with having Mike Evans go down multiple times, Chris Godwin going down multiple times, injuries on the offensive line on top of it, things that Lamar Jackson hasn't really had to deal with. Josh Allen still always needed that extra weapon here at wide receiver, but still performing at a high level, and he's up there with these guys. He's just getting overlooked, I feel like, just because starting his career in Tampa, building up that him as a starting quarterback after his past years, and with the Carolina Panthers even too. I mean, back where he was drafted here for the Cleveland Browns, trying to invent himself and show that he is a true starter, let alone an MVP candidate. And that's why I thought this contract talk moving forward here with him, I think, is very interesting, because it seems like, again, Tampa Bay is playing the whole game here where, well, I don't know, Baker, like, are you serious what you have right now? Like, he's been able to do? Why are we fooling around right now? Let's get the deal done. So, and I think Penix can be something and stuff, but right now it's easy. It's Baker Mayfield clearly in this division. Sorry, Rise Up.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Baker though. This whole contract thing. That's like, why are we pumping the brakes? Why? Like, everybody knows what the numbers are going to
Yeah.
be. It is going to be eye-popping. It really is. When Baker Mayfield signs his deal, it's going to be, I'm sorry, but it's where the market is going for that position. It's going to be up there in the top maybe 7.
Mhm.
He's going to make something somewhere in the middle there. He's gonna make some pretty decent money, because not only is he the starter, but he's also a pretty darn good starter that can help your team win games. So they should stop playing around. They should just lock yourselves in a room with the agent and hammer out a deal and get it done overnight. Like, what are we talking about? Because guess what? If you move on from Baker Mayfield, kiss your winning games goodbye. Kiss your
Oh yeah.
competitive edge to even talk about maybe winning the division every year.
Mhm. Mhm.
Maybe, because now you're going to reset, and without a quarterback, sorry, you're dead in the water. You're not going nowhere.
Right. Absolutely. So with that thing brings us finally to the NFC West here, when we're looking at the best quarterbacks in each division. This what's funny is the whole AFC, we were completely opposite, except for Patrick Mahomes. And now in the NFC, it seems like we're on page with everybody here. So it's interesting. I want to hear what you have to say for the West moving forward.
This one isn't that easy either. Like, I know the easy answer, everyone's going to point at Stafford right now because of how well he's been playing at his age, and I get it. Arizona Cardinals would take that team right off the table because they literally don't have a quarterback.
Mhm. Mhm.
So much so that, the the guy that they had here still wants a new deal, and it doesn't seem like they're budging. So
Mhm.
that's going to be a whole scenario in itself. They really don't have an answer there, um, besides the rookie that they drafted. So, well, I'm
Mhm.
just going to take them off the table. But it's really between
Yeah.
Stafford, Purdy, and Darnold. That's really what it is.
Mhm.
Sam Darnold, I'm going to take out of this equation. Not They didn't lose anything in terms of offense that much, but defensively they did. So whether that goes into my decision or probably not. But say with Sam Darnold though, it's to be different because Clint Kubiak is not there anymore. There's someone taking over the duties. Yes, going to still keep the same kind of offense. It's going to be the same, what have you. However, what is going to be major is how the game is called, how plays are delivered, when games, all that is going to change. And how much of that change might affect Sam Darnold more than we know. So obviously we have to wait and see on that ground. So I'm going to say, I don't know. He's still going to be good. I'm not saying Darnold's going to fall off and not be good anymore, but I don't think he's going to be considered my best quarterback anymore because of that factor. Effort and Purdy. Purdy, again, this is a guy who last year missed time. And it's got to be concerning for the Niners because to miss every season seems to miss a few games here and there, no matter what it is. Nagging injury, pulled hamstring, whatever the case may be. Um, but he seems to be missing time every year. Still a very solid to really good quarterback. a guy who can win those games, those tough, critical games. We've seen him pull it out in the end before. But Stafford is kind of like the elite right now. I know he's older. I know Stafford is, a lot of forward. Like, eh, there obviously his family's worried about that. How long? I heard that Sean McVay said that he's coaching as long as Stafford in his quarterback. The second Stafford decides to either retire or just doesn't have it in him anymore, that's it. This whole franchise is done for a long time. They're gonna have to rebuild. But right now, Stafford to me is the best quarterback in this division. The guy has plenty of weapons to throw to all over the place. The guy has some backs that he can hand the ball off to, and he's executing
Mhm.
at such a high level. Even this late in his career, it's kind of unbelievable.
Mhm.
Usually when you get around this age, he's getting closer to 40 years old, something. Like we look at Rogers. Rogers is what,
Mhm.
42 now, I think. Um, we seen Rogers in his prime, and he was stellar. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the league, hands down. Maybe even the best quarterback in his prime. But now you see him in his 40s, and it's like he's not the same. He doesn't move as nimble anymore. He's not fast. Um, he's still got the strength in his arm, but you know, age does conquer it.
Yeah.
But Stafford, for some reason, has found the fountain of youth, and he's using it to all his capabilities. So for me, Matt Stafford is the best quarterback in this division.
Yeah, and I mean, you say it's close, but I don't think it's really that close. I could see Brock Purdy again because of where he was drafted for one, and the accomplishments he's had, and what he's done with this team, even on top of the injuries at wide receiver. I mean, the 49ers, they've had great weapons all together, but how often are they all on the field at the same time? Especially the last couple seasons, it's been
That's what makes
crazy.
it
And
impressive with
then
him.
you could say, well, yeah, exactly, exactly. So then when it came down to me, it was again playoff success. Like Brock Purdy was under pressure, didn't perform as well as what Matthew Stafford does. And Matthew Stafford is a veteran. He's still playing at a great level, like you said too. MVP last year, so you can't argue with that. And how what's funny is Patrick Mahomes maybe made the no look pass like famous, but Matthew Stafford perfected it, and he does it like all the time within almost every game.
Matt Stafford
It's
literally
part of his.
doesn't look though.
No,
That's
I
the
know,
difference.
I
Stafford
know.
literally
So
doesn't look.
no,
It just has that
no,
feel.
right.
Mahomes, he turns his head, but his eyes are this way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, like you said, I mean, he's great. He's playing at a great level. They've got a really great team. So hands down, he's always been one of those good quarterbacks from the start when he came out. It's just he was in Detroit. A lot of people didn't notice
Yeah.
him. So right now it's Matthew Stafford. So we ended up having like the same for the whole NFC, Joe. Congratulations. We agreed the whole
Oh, look at that.
NFC. And then the AFC was a
I
bit
hate it when
different.
we
So
agree.
yeah, I know. It's never good, right? We just then that happens that we disagree with the chat. So that's all good. so so there you go. So all right, so that's our
It happens.
there's
Everybody's
our
got their
best
opinion.
quarterbacks in each division. We thank you so much, you guys, for the comments too, and we always appreciate it, you guys, when you throw your comments out there. Keep them coming. And yeah. So we're gonna do one more thing before we head up out of here, and then we'll start seeing more of you guys around. We'll start putting some more content again as the season is getting started and amped up and
We're getting
ramped up.
closer. That's right.
We will be doing
That's
the
right.
same. So I thought it would be kind of funny to look back at the Super Bowl and look at these teams and the kind of the path that took us there, right? And how they kind of
Yeah.
the Patriots. We said that Bo Nix and he was injured. Also, we hear the news right before the game's going to be going. Pretty much. And you're like, oh, he's not going to play. Like, are you serious? Are you for real? They're going to trot
Yeah.
that guy out. Like what? Jarrett Stidham, right? And then even early on, Stiddy looked pretty, but it didn't. And then it didn't really pan out for everything. The Patriots did their thing, but in even Seattle, what was impressive with them and how they made it when you had these other contenders in the playoffs, the even what with the Bears make it as far as they did. So many teams getting better before we even saw it, or we didn't imagine this. Like before this season started, this past season, I didn't pick Patriots Seahawks. I didn't think that was even going to happen. I was still questioning what Sam Darnold could do for the
Right.
Seahawks.
I get you.
So
I get you.
how likely now that we did have that Super Bowl? All right. So
Mhm,
how
mhm.
likely is it that we're going to get this same Super Bowl again? These teams, will they be as good as they were last year, or will they just have that particular luck to get there again? So Patriots, Seahawks, who's going to be lowest likely to return to the Super Bowl, or is it neither? Joe, what's your take on this?
I mean, here's what I'm gonna say. I don't think it's likely for Seattle to make a return, uh, because yes, they did anything really on offense. They re-signed Rashid Shaheed. Obviously, there was a concern maybe he might go elsewhere, but they were able to get a deal done and lock him in for 3 years. Um, Josh Jobe was a hot candidate for a lot of teams. A lot of people saw him as the number 1 corner headed to free agency, but again, they retained his rights. They added Dante Fowler Jr. for pass rush, drafted Jadarian Price. A lot of people had him ranked as like the second best running back coming out in the draft, but they added him because Kenneth Walker booked it. He went to Kansas City for the money because Seattle wasn't going to pay him. So he's in with the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City's pretty happy about that. Uh, they lost Boye Mafe, who is a very young in his prime type of pass rusher. He goes to Cincinnati. They lose him. Dante Fowler to Boye Mafe, like, are you kidding me? Like, that's not even equal. So they lost on that. Kobe Bryant, one of the best safeties in football. He ends up signing a deal with the Chicago Bears, making that defense even scarier. Reek Woolen, another domino,
Mm,
that fan
mm.
favorite in Seattle. He left as a free agent and he found a new team. So um, had some ads, but not really impactful additions, more losses for Seattle. And you couple that with Sam Darnold and now having to work with a new play caller with this offense, a lot of variables to go through with that. It's going to be the same offense pretty much. The language is going to be the same, but it's going to be the delivery of the plays, game situations, decisions made with the new offensive coordinator. So that's going to change. It's not Clint Kubiak anymore. So for that reason, for those couple of reasons, the key losses and the new offensive coordinator that's going to be called the plays, I don't think Seattle's going to make a return to the Super Bowl. I think that it's too great of a feat. We know how difficult it is to make it just even back the following year, let alone multiple years. I think it's going to be too tall of an Seattle to make it.
All right. Christian says Patriots were schedule merchants last year. Straight up cupcake schedule. I'm pretty sure I saw a stat that when all was said and done, Patriots opponents had a losing record at the end of the year. Yeah, that's the thing. They had
That's fine.
an interesting path that we're able to get them there. Um, he says also, he says, I don't think either one of them are going back. And I'm on the side of agreeing with Christian as well. I don't think either is going to make it back here just because of like some of the things that both of you guys had said. I think Seattle again has lost a lot, and it's one thing that one of the successes that everybody had brought up with the fact with Sam Darnold and how it was such a story is that he goes back into that system and knows Clint Kubiak and was able to excel in this offense and be the guy that they needed. Well, he's gone now too, and then you talk about the losses on defense and all
Mhm.
around stuff. So that's going to be a bit of a turnaround, and then he wasn't even the MVP of the Super Bowl at all. It's Kenneth Walker Jr., who's, Kenneth Walker the third, who is now even not even there either. So that was the
Right.
defense and Kenneth Walker, big part of winning that Super Bowl to a Patriots team again, who probably shouldn't even been there. They're there prematurely. And that's why I feel like with this one again, the Super Bowl just happened to lie in where it did and fall in place and where it did. that I don't think you're going to see these same teams here. They're going to be somebody different here. You have too many other teams getting really good. Look at the Rams again going all in. They go and do that trade to get Myles Garrett. Talk about Aaron Donald. Dusting the cleats off and coming back. So they're trying to go all in again with Matthew Stafford and all that. Plus, you still have your Packers. You have the Bears who look phenomenal too and went very far last year too. And on the AFC side, you still have those Lamar Jackson and the Bills and so a lot of tough competitors on each side. That the way this league has been, especially with parity, and that those two teams happened to make it last year, I think it's highly unlikely that these two teams make it. Neither of them, I think, as well, is the ones that make it here. So it's gonna be somebody completely different this upcoming season.
Yeah. And I get that. I get that,
So
for a lot a
mhm,
lot of reasons, both teams not making a return to the Super Bowl, but we've seen teams recently in this modern era, we've seen the same team make it multiple times, and
mhm,
I don't think Seattle will make it. It's legitimately have a chance to return back to the Super Bowl, and I'll tell you why. Because even the losses that they've sustained, you look at Stephon Diggs, gone. He got released. Obviously, that was a whole kind of off the field issue slash money issue that took care of itself. He's still a free agent, by the way. So obviously, they might have made a smart decision moving on from Diggs because he's a circus act right now. He's borderline. He's not crazy like Antonio Brown, but he's like kind of borderline circus outside of the NFL that teams seem to not want to bring him in. So that's one guy. K'Lavon Chaisson. I don't know for the life of me why they didn't re-sign him. He was one of their best pass rushers, but they let him go. He ends up leaving and going to the Washington Commanders. Kudos to Washington. Garrett Bradbury, the center, they traded away to the Chicago Bears. Bears needed help. They moved on because they already had his replacement in Jared Wilson, who they drafted a year ago. So they're going to have their rookie step or second year player step in. They have a lot of confidence in him. They love him. He's going to lock that down. I've seen this kid play in Georgia. He is phenomenal. He's going to be good. Austin Hooper, Jelani Tavai, Anthony Jennings. Those guys are kind of mediocre players. They're good. They're not great. They're gone. Additions. This is kind of where it changes. So with all those losses that I listed off, here are the additions. You replace Stephon Diggs with AJ Brown. Everybody kind of saw this kind of happening. It was brewing. It was brewing finally to get it done. So they replaced Diggs with AJ Brown. I think that's an upgrade. I think it's a great. You don't have to worry about the off the field concerns. Everything's good there. And they didn't stop there. Oh, they also added another weapon in Romeo Doubs, who,
mhm.
when healthy with Green Bay, the dude was electric. The guy was a very like a go-to target. Like Jordan Love absolutely loved him, pun intended. Um, Kevin Byard, the third safety, veteran safety, going to be added to that team with other vets that are already in place. That makes their defense even better than what it was last year. Draymond Jones, a pass rusher that is going to replace the guy they lost in K'Lavon Chaisson. This dude is an absolute animal. I've seen him with Denver Broncos. I've seen him in Seattle. Now he is a New England Patriot. Elijah Vera Tucker, a guy who still is young and in his prime. Obviously, there's some injury concerns there with the Jets, maybe with a new training facility, new staff. He stays healthy longer. He's also a very good player. They got him plugged in at guard, Will Campbell, going to help him out. And then, oh yeah, by the way, they drafted another tackle just in case Will Campbell seems to screw this up. Can't seem to block some of the better DNs in the league. They have a guy in a rookie in Caleb Lomu who is a developmental guy. Like he's still a first round talent dude, but he's got some things to work out. But if Will Campbell seems to falter a little bit, they have a backup plan for him already in place. You look at this team that was then a year ago, additions, new and improved additions, some moving of the personnel, along with this really good defense. This is a team that is built to win now. They might be young, they might be ahead of schedule, but that, and you can talk about the weak schedule that everybody was raving about. Yes, we talked about it on our show too. Yes, it was a weak schedule given, but they still made it. they still got through the gauntlet in the playoffs, which was unbelievable, honestly. So now you look at this team that is improved. This team is still young. It's hungry. They got a great coach. I think this is a team that could likely return to Super Bowl.
All right, there you go. So Joe says Patriots. He thinks he can. I say neither. A couple of others in the comments had neither, and also Patriots may have another shot. So it's up in the air. We'll see. But again, like I said, it's good to be back. Everybody had to dust everything all off, and get back going into this. But
That's
we
right.
appreciate you guys joining and jumping right in on the conversation. So it's good to see you guys are
Hell
still
yeah,
around,
dude.
and we kind of left you hanging out there. We apologize for
Awesome.
that, but we had to take a break for a little bit. But like I said,
I'm not
we're
gonna lie,
excited to be
Jim.
back. So
I'm not gonna lie, Jim. I didn't nations of people showing up, but when you're a know-it-all,
yeah.
when you're an OG know-it-all, they come in
Mhm.
droves. They come and they support, and that's why we love you guys out there so much. We are back. We're gonna
Hashtag
give you
know
guys
it
some more
alls.
content leading up to the new season. Obviously, we're obviously gonna be talking about training goes. We're not out of the woods yet of happening. It's a possibility. I know there's a little birdie around that's talking about maybe Max Crosby could be dealt before the season gets here. It's a possibility. It's not a certainty. Let's get that straight. It's not like the Raiders want to trade him, but there are talks made. There is actually a structured deal put in place with the San Francisco 49ers to get Crosby.
Ooh.
And the parameters of the deal are a 27 first round pick, a 28 second round pick, and Michael Williams, the rookie last year, the pass rusher for the Niners.
Mhm.
So that is the structure. We don't know if it's going to be done, agreed to, done, whatever. But again, it's something to think about. And then one other team is in the mix, the Philadelphia Eagles. So watch those two teams. Those are the two hottest teams for Max Crosby right now, leading up to the season. Don't know if it's going to happen, but it's something to watch out for, everybody.
All right, there you go. Dropping the news here too. So we'll let you know about that. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.